Gunner's
But
been an all-star so far in this tournament. I mean, he has really put the Zoomers in I would say it has been a primary role in the Zoomers' success here in their last, 7 games, the 7 wins in a row. I mean, these guys are heating up. I mean, they're already on
mhm.
fire. Let's forget that. They're not they were heating up days ago. These guys are on fire right now.
He's the last Zoomer among boomers.
This is true.
Dyer's turn to battle. Faceless Void.
Interesting. They grab the Faceless Void. Invoker's already been banned out, so they don't have to worry about any potential Cataclysm combination. They've got like okay setup with the Chronosphere as well. I mean, Ice Blast coming in is going to do a lot of damage, but I feel like they need a little bit more. So their mid lane is probably going to be picked around to something that can throw damage in the Chronosphere. And there's a couple heroes that meet that criteria. One of the ones that we've talked about before is the OD, but I'm not sure that's something they want to pick up this game.
It's not great for Brile, and it's another hero that struggles against the Spectre, right? The last thing you want as an OD is to have heroes getting on top of you. You really play like these slow team fights where you build up these, astral stacks and then go for a Sanity's Eclipse play. Or you just like lay into these other heroes. But if Spectre's able to get on top of you, you're going to struggle a lot. So they go ahead and ban out the Beastmaster, which is a little bit interesting. Maybe anticipating it could be a Husky 5-position Tidehunter, which they have done. But with how many times Moo has played this, I would imagine that this is going to be a Mood Tidehunter.
It is Dyer's ban.
They ban out the DK, like we were talking about earlier. Also a very good pick for them is it's helps set up that Ice Blast, helps set up the Mirana Arrow. It just gives them a lot of different utility. So no reason to let that one through. Also, it's really good against the Lina. Like if he's able to just like blink and get on top of the Lina with a BKB, like late game, there's not a lot that you can do.
Yeah, that's something that we mentioned as well. The Broodmother finally banned out. I know Chad was talking about that one a couple of minutes ago. So it's not going to come out. No cheese picks, fortunately, from the Zoomers here.
You do need to ban it as the Faceless Void too. You can't actually go into a Broodmother lane. You will not have a good time.
No. We'll see what this last ban is here on the Zoomers, though. They got quite a bit of reserve time to work with. I guess just other playmakers from the mid lane that could potentially push towers. They don't have a great way of doing that at the moment. I don't know. I'm not crazy about Death Prophet or Leshrac, but it's possible that one of the two of them are banned out here.
Lesh is such a rough pick into the Spectre is the problem.
Yeah, he just runs on you with the blade mail, and you're not having a good time.
There's the
Kunkka. We talked about last game. Slipped my mind this one. I mean, you have the Axe who can play kind of far forward. Faceless Void, you don't want to put at the start of the fight. He's kind of like your counter initiation. Once people group up, you want to get the Chronosphere off. But the strength hero mid laners that can start fights and tank up the enemy seems to be what they're getting rid of here on the Zoomers. I'm curious what fits that category that's still left here that they'll want to play anyways. I mean, once in a while you see something absolutely wacko. You see the Earth Spirit played in the mid lane, but I don't think that's something they're going to take this time around.
You can't take that in the Lina. You're just going to get crushed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a lot of heroes that are left here for Undying to pick, and I think they're kind of struggling on that one as well.
Mm-hmm. Not a ton of options against the Lita, unfortunately. I mean, you could grab Mid Mars potentially. That wouldn't be awful.
Yeah, you can go for like an early level and Bulwark to mitigate a lot of the damage, but man, I didn't like this.
I mean, it's really bad at the start of the lane, but once you hit level 6, I mean, that's your jump to get on top of the Lina. And so often we see the Lina just absolutely crush the Storm Spirit lane. But the moment you get a solo kill, that's your recovery.
I was looking at the Storm thinking, they could go for it. There's not a lot of lockdown on the Zoomers, but they still have this last pick and the ability. I mean, it's going to be Moo's hero. I think this is going to be a 5-position Tidehunter in the safe lane. I think that's actually what we're going to be seeing. But you could just pick up a hero like the Lion and just have a Lion now with the ability to catch the Storm Spirit. Okay, Viper. Oh, geez, that is a Viper off lane. That is going to be really rough for this Faceless Void. I didn't even realize it was still available.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Moo Viper.
It's Moo Viper. Yep, you're absolutely correct. It's going to be position 5 Tidehunter.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely something you can flex. This hero is incredibly strong with just a single level of Gush. And Saberlight and Moon, you know, won't be able to dish out a ton of damage. Like you just go Kraken Shell and Gush and you run it heroes. It's pretty cool. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. I mean, you can only go with like 1 point in the Kraken Shell, though. You want to just max out your Gush, maybe put 1 in the Anchor Smash so you can do damage between your right clicks. But yeah, it can pump out a lot of damage as position 5 support, but also can fall off quite a bit. I don't think they're super concerned about the amount of damage that come out at the start. So it's all right here. I do like the Viper pick against the Axe quite a bit, though. I think that's something that teams haven't been valuing enough because you just completely shut down the hero if he's not getting his spins off.
Yeah. I mean, this Viper pick checks a lot of boxes. It's good against the Faceless Void. It's good against the Axe. He's a natural ATOS builder, which is really frustrating for a Storm Spirit. He's tanky. He forces someone to jump him. I mean, this Viper is going to be a huge issue, I think.
Well, we'll see how far off or how Z-Freak pops off in the Tusk this game if we get these big snowball saves into initiations from the side of Undying. And I guess how much this Viper is going to get done. It can be very annoying to play against this Viper Tusk offlane, though. This is something we saw a lot out of in China a couple of, like half a year back. Oh my
It's
God.
been a minute, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just the other day, it feels like. This time skip arc because of COVID is crazy. Wild how it messes with your sense.
Yeah. I still write 2020 on documents by mistake.
Really?
Yeah. And we're almost in
I
2022.
stop myself. Yeah. I have to stop myself every so often, unfortunately. But we get a chance to break down the lanes. It's going to be pretty much how we expect. Dubu starting boots of speed first. Absolute Chad.
I think that's fine because if he gets caught by Tusk, he just dies. So I think he actually has to have the movement speed, knowing that Tusk is also going to go boots of speed. And he's still 30 MS faster on the Tusk. Man, AA is a slow hero. But yeah, if he's able to get on top of you with a tag team and a Viper, you're just going to feed on this Ancient Apparition. So a lot of things that Dubu's going to have to worry about this game in that lane. Well, we are off here, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are just tuning in, it is 4 Zoomers versus Undying. It is their second game here today in this best of 2. Zoomers managed to take game number 1 very convincingly. A really solid draft. Speaking of the drafts, Neff, we didn't really say which one we liked more. Who are you feeling here?
Am I gonna lose another point to you today? Is this what's happening here?
Yeah, that's why I'm going in. I'm out for blood
rubbing
today.
it in just because of what I did to you the other day. I like it when I'm winning more. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like this rookie winning thing. All right. I've doubted Zoomers too many times. I'm getting flamed for it now. I just got to double down on it. I'm going Undying.
Oh my God. Gotta love to see it. All right, very cool. Once again, I'm gonna go the way of the Zoomers. I think this Viper last pick is going to cause hell for Undying here, and I see Z-Freak Tusk. I'm feeling pretty safe about a victory here for them.
The battle begins.
Z-Freak is an absolute boss. Eternal Envy, as much as I'm not a fan of 2021 Eternal Envy. He was popping off in the last game as well. In terms of space to farm, quick reaction times coming out. Zoomers look like they're in good form, but I gotta bet on my boys on Undying. After all, Saberlight gave us the best interview we ever had.
It really was. Some incredible stuff that we got to cover in there.
Yeah. And we'll see. I mean, mid lane is going to be, well, we can pretty much guess how this one goes. Pretty heavily favored for the Lina. You want to get close to the lane to drop these static remnants and trade with the enemies.
They're actually starting 3 heroes top. Oh my goodness. Undying in shambles right now. They opened this top lane by missing the chilling touch by accidentally clicking a creep, and then Moo just walks to the right and misses the arrow as a result.
Oh, it's a good thing I didn't luck. Can I change my prediction to Zoomers? Is that too late?
Nope. Nope, it is too late, sir. You have locked in.
Unfortunate. What can you do? Their arrow ended up missing in the bottom lane. Husky's dropping pretty low already, though. I think if another Battle Hunger comes out.
Wow, he went Anchor Smash 1.
Yeah?
That is surprising. I did not expect that.
Gotcha is one of the best level 1 abilities in the game. I think it's kind of like a remnant of what early abilities kind of used to look like. The slow doesn't scale. It lasts for an incredibly long time. It does a lot of damage. But it does make you kind of weaker as far as like CSing inside the lane and trading with the enemies. Lots of kill potential out of that ability, but the fact that he hasn't gone for it means like you don't have the kill potential here. You just kind of exist inside the lane.
Yeah, he's just going to be able to annoy Saberlight a little bit with the damage reduction on Anchor Smash, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, Saberlight's getting super aggressive on Envy here.
By the way, mid lane, Barrow's actually doing quite well for himself. He's already almost level 4. He's 12-3 to the 7-1 on Lina. That's amazing, to be honest.
Yeah, I feel like that never happens. Gunnar getting up both water runes here, so spending a decent amount of time.
Barrow got the other.
Oh, never mind. I was clicking on the wrong hero there.
Yeah. No worries. He went 1-0-2 on the Storm Spirit though, so he's looking to trade harass here with the Lina instead of go for a potential kill. A lot of the time, you'll see the Storm Spirit go 1-1-1, but he might just opt to go farm build and move into the jungle post laning phase. We'll see. He goes into kill potential here. He's just hit 4.
I think this lane gets a lot more difficult for Bryle the longer he sticks around, so I can't imagine he's going to want to continue to trade here with Gunnar's Lina, who, you know, is getting a really slow bottle because of the way he itemized in this lane, right? He went for a double circlet and a mantle to start, whereas Bryle kind of just starts with a casual ring of protection. You know, Storm Spirit having an incredible high base armor, and that extra armor helped reducing a decent amount of the damage there from that Lina.
Yeah, it is mostly right clicks that are going to come off and be the major harasser in this lane as well. And yeah, he ended up going to 0-2. I mean, this is the same build that we saw out of Ray Lalisa during the DPC, who got one of the fastest Orchids on Storm Spirit, I think, of all time. It's that second season.
Yeah, it was just over 7 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, but stacks were being made for him. He was finding kills as well. Man, absolutely popped off that game.
Z3 gonna go ahead and drag this top lane. I mean, Viper having a good time top, but honestly, so is Tomato on this Faceless Void. They've done a really good job at keeping this Faceless Void alive and controlling the lane. And as a result, I mean, if you don't get one of those earn charges fairly soon, then you're wasting a lot of the potential here on this hero. It's really just been Dubu refusing to play up in the lane, I think.
Yeah. If we can get this last... Okay. Tomato was almost in trouble there. If Moo managed to get that 5th stack of poison attack off, he might have just been killed, but he's fine. Man's good. It's always very scary playing around with that one with Viper when you don't have it dispelled in your lane. Once you have 5 stacks of poison
Speaking
attack.
of Viper, he might go down. If Tomato gets a bash, it's just going to go the way of Dubu. The lane just pulled so far back by the Tusk, he can't offer any assistance. Meanwhile, bottom, Envy also taking a ton of damage.
That's the... oh, yeah. Envy is incredibly low here, but that's one of the bad parts of this Viper here. He didn't have boots of speed either. He opted to go earn first because he was just so sure that he could zone the enemies out of the lane. You've got 275 movement speed, and you're dealing with Tomato, who's got treads already. And speaking of, he could get himself killed here. It's going to be close.
I mean, you're going to get the 5 stacks off. I don't see how you get out of the Faceless Void. This is the aggression here that we kind of expected from this lane. You now get those earn charges online, and it becomes that much more difficult to play here as any hero, right? Like, no one can really come up and contest this Viper. If Moo decides he wants to kill you, you're probably just going to die.
Which is the logic of why he went around this. I was going off about how not having boots of speed makes him very easy to go on there, especially given that Dubu and Tomato both have boots. But you know, with those 5 stacks of poison attack, it becomes very easy to run the heroes down. And speaking of running people down, Bryle now level 6, so it's possible that he hops on top of Gunner if he has a bunch of mana to work with. Z-Freak tries to get out the rune, but unfortunately it's going to be in the bottom. Moon Meander is going to try to protect this
that
one.
caught him. Gunner almost blows up Bryle there. That was so close. If it wasn't for that rain drop, he'd have been dead. And luckily for him, finds a haste rune of all things.
Yeah, he can clear up these stacks, grab the bounty rune, and he'll be back up to like 75, 80% health and be just fine. He's a little bit slower right now. Moon Meander heading around the jungle, placing these deep wards, but they do scout that one out. I think they had vision of it and pinged it out.
There's no stacks being made on the side of Zoomers. I mean, this Tusk, he's been having to play really aggressive in the lane. And top
don't have
lane,
anybody-
Tomato nearly goes down again, now turning their attention onto Duba, but Z-Freak has no mana.
Uber's got a salve. He's going to use that on Tomato. But your Storm Spirit needs to start making plays pretty quickly here. He's back in the base, so I think he's looking for a lane to TP in on and turn
looking
things
top.
around in. Yeah.
This would be a great kill if they can punish Moo, and they will do exactly that. Pull down the Nether Toxin, doing, you know, a little bit of damage, but really, that 3 points in that Remnant is more than enough to help take down that Viper, and that saves Tomato's game quite a bit.
Yeah. It's exactly what Bryle wants to do. You don't want to exist inside the lane against Alina anymore unless you've got kill potential there. So you're going to recover from Bryle finding kills. Puts the point to Electric Vortex in. Now clearing a couple stacks that Dubu has made for him. Thank you, Dubu. Look at the efficiency of this man.
This is a lot of farm going his way.
Yep. Running 2 different stack camps at once. This guy's good. Let's see how Envy's game is doing. We haven't touched base on him. He's doing all right. Tied with the Void Spirit, or sorry, the Faceless Void. Void Spirit's not in this game. The Faceless Void on CS. He's just gonna go for a Blade Mail first, and this is exactly what we saw out of him in Summit 13 online, which he ended up winning with part of this roster. I mean, with the very least. So it will let him just run at the enemies and participate in some of these early kills, so he can go straight from farming to being a big presence in these team fights by pressing hot. You just need to make sure that your mana is always topped up, and Envy does seem to be pretty disciplined about that one. Bryle finds a kill on a Z-Freak. He's trying to invade the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, pops the DD rune as soon as he sees that Tusk, just chases him down. Nothing you can really do there on Z-Freak to keep himself alive. He just held the Vortex the whole time. Saberlight looking to get aggressive on Envy bottom. If he happens to get a... Oh, just dodges the arrow. Very well played there by Envy.
He's going to be zoned all the way back into his tier 2 tower right now, it looks like. I think he's sending himself out of salve. No, he's going to TV back home, grab his Blade Mail, and I don't think he wants to exist in this lane against Axe anymore. Against the Vanguard, he doesn't really get to be here, so once you have your Blade Mail done, that's really all you need to be able to jungle on Spectre.
Yep. I'll be honest, Moo's Viper, so far very low impact. Has not had a great time in this top lane. They managed to get 2 kills on the Faceless Void, you know, or 1 kill, 1 assist. And Dubu's level 6. Like, they got a lot of out of this lane that I feel like they had no business doing well in.
It started to look a little bit rough for them, but you know, that first kill on the Viper made things easier than it had to be. Yes, the Faceless Void did go down once, but Bryle assisted in recovering their lane as well. And that's part of the launch behind the Storm Spirit pick. It's very easy for him to rotate and find these kills if the enemies are being aggressive at all. So they play a lot faster than they did the last game. They don't have to play around these big cooldowns and all these heroes. And you know, Storm Spirit is kind of that mid laner who carries the game as well, which Bryle tends to really enjoy, right? The best performances we see out of this Undying lineup is when Bryle's playing like the Storm Spirit, the heroes like Monkey King or Morphling in the mid lane is when they really pop off.
Even as Lina, I mean, he's also a very skilled Lina player.
Yeah.
Do you see Dube on the left side of the lane? Z-Freak, not quite level 6, but does have Husky standing behind him. And it looks like they're wanting to put a little bit of pressure on the mid lane tower. Gunner, though, should be able to clean up this wave. No problem at all.
Yeah. Against Alina, 4-point Dragon Slave. Just too difficult to push this one. Bryle's going to continue to put pressure here in the mid lane, focus their efforts here while they smoke gank the top lane. They've got Chronosphere available as well, so all they need is Chrono Arrow. I think Envy realizes something's up, though.
Yeah, he's backing off into his triangle, and they do know. Here comes Bryle. Envy on the backside, catches a Vortex into the cold feet, and Envy, I mean, he should die to this.
Yeah, he'll shatter.
Can't imagine he keeps himself alive. Bryle, though, trying to survive as he wobbles away on the backside.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, Envy actually lives.
He was one tick from dying. It's what is it, 11%?
I think it's 11%.
12%. 12%. He was one tick from dying. He's at 128 health. I think if he was at 120, he would have died.
Wow.
Yeah. Envy did the math. I clearly didn't.
Ravage out top lane. They're looking for the Faceless Void. Walrus Punch from Z-Freak with all of that minus armor from the Gush helps find that kill. And now Dubu gonna TP out. Envy really just using that haunt to get back to the lane, it seems. And now they can pressure this tier 1 tower in the top lane. Dude, 4-point Gush with 7 minus armor. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I ended up hitting him once. Ended up being 300 and what is that? 393 physical damage. It almost hit him for the full like amount that it said on the screen, which is absolutely insane. Not gonna be too happy about that. So making some good plays here on Zoomers again. Managing to get out of that one on Eternal Envy, find the kill there on Tomato. Still 2k net with advantage on Undying, but
that's an arcane rune on the Storm.
Yeah, but he's gonna be fine, I think. He's too tanky on Z-Freak.
Yeah, and Bryle now going in really deep, but a Chrono from Tomato will help find the kill there onto that Tusk, but Lina bashed up over and over again, trying to find the kill, can't do it. And now, Envy, rotation to the mid lane as well. Maybe they're gonna turn their attention on over to Husky as well. Dude, they're just popping them one by one. The damage from Bryle's Storm Spirit.
Yeah, I think that was such a sloppy initiation by Undying, and Zoomers probably looked at that and like, what is this guy doing? There's no way that he kills our Tusk, who's got 1100 HP and raindrops under this tower. Let's get him. And then Tomato shows up with like a late Chronosphere and manages to catch 2. It just, I think, threw them off there on Zoomers with the way they initiated on Undying.
And they whiffed the Ice Blast.
Yeah, it was like kind of a sloppy play that turned into a good one because Zoomers like, yeah, I guess we could take this then instead of just getting back. But more and more heroes ended up coming in there. The Chronosphere really saved that team fight. So the fact that Tomato ended up dying the top lane, changed where he is sitting on the map, ended up paying off for them in the long term on Undying.
Tomato also bashed 4 of his 5 auto attacks on the Lina, which is quite insane.
Very cool.
Husky gonna get caught there. That's the blink reveal from the axe, just setting up these ice blasts. And now on the side of Zoomers, you're falling fast. 5k behind here to Undying as you're losing your mid lane tier 1 tower with no real way to stop this. Well, they're gonna try. Call on the side, gonna not connect here onto Envy.
So they're gonna hold their triangle right now, which they have to sit 4 heroes on this one.
They do have boots to travel, finish up on the Viper, so Moo just gonna do his best to position himself in front of these towers using that Nether Toxin to deep push these waves.
Yeah, just playing as safe as possible at the moment. They feel like the enemies can jump, and they do have a lot of jump right now. This isn't like the last game with, again, the cooldowns to play around. Storm Spirit able to get on top of heroes.
Being delivered in a moment here for Gunner, but doesn't have it quite yet. As a result, doesn't look like he's gonna find Bryle.
So help with the setup, but Bryle is going for Kaya and San. This is interesting. Instead of just rushing a BKB. So looking to get out of these disables fast, or potentially like just not getting chain stunned here, I guess is the method that he's going for.
They know the Lina was top lane. They saw her for just a moment. They get the Moonlight Shadow, but they saw the TP there from Dubu, so they immediately back out. And Zoomers should be able to dodge out this gank. Looks like they're going to go for a gank of their own, potentially, as they smoke up here in their own jungle, heading for the triangle, but Faceless Void, he's back to the base. Gonna get some wards down, but they do scout it, and as a result, Undying know exactly where the Zoomers are. Mid lane, maybe trying to bait out this Moon Mirana as Tomato hiding on the other side of the tree line here with this Chronosphere Axe TPing in as well. Any initiation here from Undying probably results in a kill, and there it is. The Ice Blast gonna come in from the backside, and there's the Chronosphere catching the Tidehunter. LSA in from Gunner, dishing out a lot of damage himself. There's gonna be the Ravage. They managed to take down 2, but in comes Bryle. He's looking for Gunner. There's no spells really left. And now Bryle, he's got to be careful with his mana, though. He will take down Gunner, but he has nothing left to work with. However, it's Tomato on the Faceless Void, bash after bash, rooting Envy down, and unbelievable play here from Undying as they get 4 for 2.
Yeah, and the tips come out. You love to see it. Shout out to Eternal Envy of all people. That amazing team fight that they just took there. And, you know, you haunted into that one. You think that you're ready to fight. You win for some of these early items like the Blade Mail and the Spectre. And honestly, I thought they would take this, but they just have so much jump here on Undying. They might grab this one on Brown. Now he's out of there.
He just has nothing on Envy. I'm looking at his items like he really just doesn't have anything. It's 17 minutes. He doesn't have the Echo Saber completed. He is so far behind Tomato.
I mean, all of a sudden he just fell off after not being able to take a couple of these fights. Died like in the mid lane that last one. Mid lane on top of the
They're gonna go down again here, I think. Nice snowball save, but Envy in some trouble. Tomato goes right into a Walrus Punch, but the chase is in. Nice LSA in from Gunner. Tries to get the Laguna Blade, but gonna catch that Cold Feet instead. Now Bryle's still so much mana to work with. Gonna be able to finish him off now. Husky next. Double kill going the way of the Storm Spirit. Another 4 kills going the way of Undying. This game is falling apart here for the Zoomers.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to throw everything to defend this mid tower to stop like more aggression coming out, but they're losing more and more for it. 6k net worth advantage now. And they'll immediately start invading their triangle. Grab this mid tower finally and probably start setting up around the Roche pit. They don't have the best lineup for taking it. And again, we mentioned that their lineup kind of slow for towers, which is why something like Electrac or a Death Prophet
They're gonna find Envy mid, and I think he's dead here. He's gonna shatter with that Cold Feet, I think. Envy doing his best to walk away, but yeah, they get the kill. Very low commitment once again here from Undying, punishing every hero that shows. And I mean, even Gunner's Lina has nothing as well. Like, he just has Yules. Normally at this point, he's got his boots of travel and like half his BKB done. They just found no farm on the Zoomers.
Yeah, you're just sitting at 5.7k net worth. I think these kills that happened like the early mid game, as soon as the laning phase ended up them not being able to connect any of these kills here on the Zoomer side ended up making them really pay for it. And Lina, he wanted to like dominate the Storm Spirit at the start of the game, but that just didn't happen. Bryle was actually ahead the first couple of creep waves where Lina was supposed to be winning. I think he itemized so well going for that extra armor in the Soul Ring, and then moving into the jungle like level 4 and 5. Envy might just die again in the bottom. He's gone.
Yeah, Envy's game is over. Top lane. They're also finding Gunner. They have 4 heroes up here on Zoomers, but still lose the Lina. Now Moon trying to hobble away. The Ravage was committed, but there's the Chronosphere from Tomato laying into Moo and Storm Spirit to follow it up. Neph, how many 4-for-1s is this game?
4 4-for-1s, 3 4-for-1s. I feel like, I mean, the last 2 of these ones happened in the mid lane, but now, like, 3k cold advantage now turned into 10k here for Zoomers, and Bryle just finding kill after kill. 8-0 and 9 on the Storm Spirit. He's looking for go for more team fight build. I mean, he knows that they want to be grouping up here on Zoomers. He's got this Aghanim Scepter queued up.
Yeah, Undying is just running all over the Zoomers at this point. He's going to find himself another Arcane Rune. I shouldn't have bet against Ancient Apparition.
And this hero's good.
Envy dead again in the mid lane here. You showed for 1 second. No save. Z-Freak will take down the Ancient Apparition, and Saberlight going in a little bit too aggressive as well will get picked off. No way to really escape here. So this time they do trade favorably on the side of Zoomers, getting a little bit of gold and net worth, a little bit of gold and experience for themselves, which they are severely lacking. But I don't know if there's like any time where you feel safe taking objectives. They're gonna smoke up behind Gunner here in the mid lane. You don't have Ravage for another 60, but Braille's gonna come in. They get the arrow. Z-Freak tries to save him, gets a snowball for a moment, but you're in such a deep spot. He's able to take down the tower, but Gunner, he's just trying to run away. LSA does connect. He's got to drop what damage he has, but he doesn't get the Laguna off. They will be able to finish off Tomato. Z-Freak falling low. Braille as well. Not a lot of mana left in the tank. And Moo trying to dump in as much damage as he can, but Braille's ready to turn it around. The Ice Blast once again coming through. But Envy comes in with the haunt. Braille, he makes it out. Once again, this Storm Spirit manages to stay alive.
Yeah, if they can find a kill on him, they might be able to turn this game around. He's got to be worth so much money right now. But this Kaya Sans just won't let you lock him down for quite long enough. And gonna lose Tide as well. Saberlight finishing that one off with the dunk.
They just don't stop. These guys are machines.
I mean, you evened out. Well, no, you didn't even out the net worth. You made it slightly less horrible than the XP lead that Undying has. You got a little bit back there. Your heroes have a couple levels under their belt, but you know it's like you said, the lack of the farm here on the Lina, the lack of the farm here on the Spectre, makes it difficult for them to do much of anything.
It's
Envy,
really
you know,
strange. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna say Envy doesn't really come online until he's got his Manta style. At that point, you can kind of like find kills, find Roshan at that point. But this game, it's just been the blade mail and like slowly crawling towards your next item.
What I was gonna say, it's really strange is this patch has been basically, you know, have a hero who can farm ancients and then farm ancients. They just didn't do that for Zoomers. They didn't stack their jungle at all here for either the Lina or this Spectre. And as a result, like there was zero recovery.
I mean, it's not that easy to clear these stacks as the Lina or the Spectre, unfortunately. You'd rather like clear out maybe a double stack at most before the camp just starts killing you. I guess you kind of can do it just by spamming out your abilities and the extra attack speed you have with Fiery Soul. But I don't know. I feel like you make it too easy for Saberlight to invade your jungle, start taking stacks. That might have been the logic they had behind not stacking there. But they are paying for it, like you said.
Yeah, and as a result, Faceless Void finishes up the BKB. Braille's going to finish up his Ags. The Radiant, they scan Roshan. Unfortunately for them, Undying's not in the pit quite yet. Might get baited a little bit here. Smoke's not going to pop, but it does on the backside. They find Tomato. Ravage to follow it up. The Chain Suns are there. They get the Faceless Void, but there's the Vortex, setting up a beautiful stun here. And that Ancient Apparition's Ice Blast is just too much for them to deal with. He's able to get the AA Blast off. And now call comes through from Saberlight, just chopping these guys down. And Eternal Envy trying to make his way out of this fight. And it looks like he will, but the buybacks coming through from both of these cores. They've got to get something out of this. Maybe it's just going to be Dubu's AA. Saberlight up on the high ground. Got to blink, and he's going to make it.
Yeah. That was an excellent initiation there by the Zoomers, getting that Walrus punch off, followed by the Ravage and Light Strike array. You can't take advantage of this BKB he just completed here on the Void. No time walk that he got off either. Ended up being very big for them. I mean, it hasn't really changed the XP or net worth advantage for Undying because you're forced to buy back there. Like, you lost so many heroes, but I think that's like the best you're going to get. That was best case scenario. Envy might get edged closer to his Manta style here. I don't know. He still seems so far off. The only part of it he has now is the Yasha.
Yeah, I mean, you could just look at the net worth distribution. Like, Moon Meander's Mirana has now passed Gunner in the mid lane. He's about to pass Moo on the Viper, and he's only 1,000 gold behind the Eternal Envy Spectre. So this 12k net worth advantage at 25 minutes, it isn't all on one hero. It's the entire side of Undying that is farmed. Moonlight Shadow comes out. They had Sentry there scouting this whole thing, and now Moo just gonna jump onto Saberlight here, break his abilities, and he's honestly in a really bad spot. The Ice Blast only really catches the Tidehunter on the back. This is as good as it's gonna get here for the side of Zoomers, but they still don't have the damage. Envy trying to get Saberlight, throws a dagger last second, will find it. They buy back on the Tusk, and they buy back on the Axe.
Want to be able to take Roshan. You don't have lifesteal here. You do have Chronosphere available still, but no Ravage either for another 30 seconds. If they could take this fast on Undying, there's not much you could do to contest. In fact,
they know
it looks like Zoomers. Yeah, Zoomers know that as well. They let them have this one.
Aegis gonna be picked up on Tomato or Brile? Probably Brile, right? I have to imagine.
Yeah.
Huh, they're gonna give it to Tomato.
No way. Okay. I mean, Brile came back to the pit thinking that he was going to get it. He even swapped his wand out.
Saberlight
Maybe a
nearly
little bit of
finds Z-Freak there.
You might want to get back. I mean, it's clear that want to try to set up on you in the top lane. You've Haunt in another 100 seconds, and Spectre they're not really worried about at the moment. Brile's going to go BKB next, by the way, so regardless of having the Sanj Kaya, he doesn't want to get blown up like Tomato did in that last fight.
Envy did get a huge gold bounty for killing Saberlight, about a little over 500 gold for himself, so he is getting closer to that Manta. But again, the rest of his team has pretty much nothing at this point. Saberlight gonna find Z-Freak here. Ice Blast to follow. He needs to snowball this. He will. Able to dodge out that Ice Blast for the time being and blink himself to safety. Oh, arrow? Whew. Almost clips him, but Saberlight, again, gonna try and pull Z-Freak out from under his tower, but it's a little bit too far. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they caught Viper. Brile just goes in aggressively and takes down Moo.
At the very least, they're pulling these heroes around the map on Moo. So stalling a little bit for Envy to finish up his Manta style.
Gunner on the high ground there, nice find.
Yeah. He finds Orb of Destruction. He's going to have his Manta style here too. Finally has enough gold for it. Buys out the ultimate orb, gets a recipe from the stash, so might be able to take a fight against them now. They have stalled for this pretty important item.
Oh, they actually saw Envy with a courier as he was TPing out. Manta style now completed. They also find a ceremonial robe for Husky, so some things kind of go in their way, but it is still a massive net worth and XP lead here for the side of Undying. A 98% chance to win according to Dota Buff. Or Dota Plus. What?
Dota Buff. Dota Buff, I imagine, has some odds as well. 98 win probability here for Undying. I mean, it's not impossible here. Like, Spectre is going to be able to jump the Ancient Apparition, like, maybe blow up the Storm Spear once he has an Abyssal Blade as well. But, I mean, you need to play around these Chronospheres. You need to not get caught out by the Storm Spirit for a little while. These fights are pretty difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. And Saberlight doing a really good job at finding heroes is the big issue.
Yeah, if you can't see him, you can't really initiate on Tomato here because you're gonna get turned by Saberlight, and you know once he gets a sick Berserker's call off, you're gonna line up a Chronosphere for the Faceless Void after that.
Envy, they actually saw him top lane on a ward for a moment. Brile gonna find him. Ice Blast doesn't connect, but Envy does need to be careful. Uses the Haunt immediately to get out of there. Question, wait, where is the real one? The heck, how did it get over here?
I think he jumped on Moon. Moon leaped forward, and then.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We got
Well, they popped the Moonlight Shadow, and now without a Haunt, Envy can't really be too far away from his team. They see him under a ward here once again, and there's going to be the jump in from Brile. Envy just going to go down here.
And be dead.
Gunner doing the exact same thing Envy just did, walking top lane, but he's been seen by a ward. Like, they know exactly where he's gonna be. Storm Spirit with a really long zip. Gunner gonna pop the BKB, find Moon, but has to just TP home right away.
Yeah, that's your first BKB charge. Not ideal, but at the very least, you get out of that one with your life. Mindbreaker now found. I imagine you're gonna hold on to that on Steam Storm Spirit. I guess so. I mean, it doesn't prove your initiation. Makes it for the fact that you don't have an Orchid, so you can jump on them. Get him with the Mindbreaker, then do an Electric Vortex afterwards. Makes it much easier to kill Z-Freak for sure.
Absolutely.
We might be able to find here.
Z-Freak's looking for Moon, but A little bit too aggressive there on the Tusk, as he thought he could kill this Murano, who's got Guardian Greaves, Glimmer Cape, and a Medallion. He is super tanky.
Yeah. This is a Murano that's easily jumpable. Now they'll turn their eyes towards the mid lane here. Again, they do take towers pretty slowly, so only just getting the tier 2 tower now, despite the fact that Dota Plus has told us that we've got like a 99% win probability now. It's very rare you see that before tier 2s are taken.
Yeah, indeed.
And now cleaning up the top ones. BKB finished on Bryle.
Radiant's top tower
It means he can just run into the enemy without a care in the world. Nobody has bashers. So they have no way to disable this guy. Spider Leg's now found as well, and just about to complete this Eye of Scotty on the Faceless Void. This will make him so much harder to blow up. He'll be so tanky after this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's already tanky. And with the BKB, I really don't know how you do it.
And Titan Sliver as well. Sometimes you just find the right item. There it is. Eye of Scotty done.
Meanwhile, Envy's starting his Eye of Scotty.
Yeah. His Faceless Void is like 2 items ahead of Envy. They don't have the Aegis available. Roshan, we're not going to find out when it respawns for another minute and 40 seconds here. It's possible they played this one slower. They will be able to push the high ground before Eternal Envy finishes his second BKB if they wait. Or, sorry, his Mantis Eye of Scotty. Before he finishes his Eye of Scotty, I'll get the second Rosh, I imagine. So play it safe as possible. Definitely want to give 4 Zoomers some respect after what they did to them in the last game. So
Yeah, absolutely. They're actually smoked up here on the Zoomers. Seeing if they can find anything. Scouting a little bit here with this Sigil. Does have great flying vision. You're going to head into their triangle. Feel a little bit safe there, but Bryle protected by an Invis rune. They know someone's there, but not really sure who. That Invis has now procced, and the smoke comes out from Undying. They want to go right into the enemy high ground. Moonlight Shadow as well, protecting him. They will catch 2. They need to leave. No, but the Walrus Punch gonna be able to interrupt Saberlight a little bit, but there's the Chrono on the backside. It catches Moo, and it catches the Tide Hunter. So much damage coming out right away, and Husky, he can't pop the Ravage quite yet. These BKBs protecting him. They've got to wait. Now Bryle coming on in. Husky holds the Ravage, but finally drops it, but it doesn't hit anything. They're able to disengage. Saberlight, however, separated out from the fight, will get brought down. Z-Freak. Nowhere to go here. Maybe you can get the Faceless Void. There's going to be the Light Striker Ray. Do they have the damage? Tomato is just too damn tanky. Moo and Gunner, they've got to do so much damage here. He's continuing to just time walk all of it away, and they don't have any more stuns. Makes it up onto the high ground. 4-step forward. Gunner, there's the Light Striker Ray. Able to find that kill just finally.
they find 2. I mean, these kills on the Tomato, they're worth a lot of XP and gold. They managed to catch Saberlight there as well. They're finding these ideal team fights, but I'm not sure if they're too far behind for it to matter. They get a slight recovery there. XP, I mean, it switches over from 30,000 to like 28,000 after that team fight. You lose Moo again, I think you might just lose this
Bryle's
game.
out of mana. Do they have detection for this?
They do not. Looks like Bryle's going to get out of this one.
I don't know.
BKB in a couple seconds.
Okay, I mean, he
One,
has
there it is.
BKB, but Envy
Gotta
and all
use
of
it
them
now.
can just continue the chase here. Gunner, he's got a DD rune. He really wants this kill, but no, Glimmer Cape will save him. Dubu will pay for that one. Backs out of the fight, Moon.
Okay, not bad. That one
Sides
does
alive?
turn things around.
Is
Where's your
Roshan up?
BKB?
Oh my gosh, this DD rune still has some duration. They're going to lay into the Rosh here without a Faceless Void. This is going to fall very quickly. They have no way to contest.
Tag team making that even quicker. So second Roche actually ends up going the way of Zoomers.
He's just going to go on to Gunner. I think that's perfect cheese for Eternal Envy. Who grabbed the shard? Did someone grab a shard?
Somebody did. Who did it go on? I think it went on. Yeah, it went on Tusk. He's
No,
got
it's on
13
Viper.
sigil now.
It's on Viper. Yeah, Tusk already had the sigil, so it's on Viper.
You see, makes sense. He just completed his BKB. Being able to burn down somebody's armor is going to be a pretty big deal. The extra,
3 extra stacks and the armor is pretty huge.
Yeah.
Does give them some tower push as well, which, I mean, we can clearly see they've been struggling with. Is all tier 2 outer towers still surviving. Tier 1 bottom hardly even touched.
Yeah. After those last 2 fights, though, they're going to play a little bit closer together here on Undying. The map is pretty dark for them right now. They need to set up a couple wards. Dubu just hasn't had the opportunity, it looks like. Or what has been has just been dewarded. Interesting that he opted to place that one there. I think maybe they'll hope to take a fight as they disengage, but grouping up to go top here. The only person sitting up here is Moon Meander, as the rest of the team pushing bottom, looking to take this last outer tower, maybe.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. So, I mean, if they get the kill on Moon and they get this tier 2 tower, great, but losing the last of your outer towers here on Zoomers doesn't feel very good to be able to just, like, take the base.
They're TPing in heavy. They want to respond. Gunnar gets his Daedalus completed. I think they saw Saberlight. They did indeed. Yule's going to be able to save them and waste a lot of his time. The BKB comes out. Ice Blast going to connect onto Envy. And there's the Chrono. Tomato finding some big characters once again. It's going to be Moo's Viper. Gunnar trying to turn this around, but Moo, he can't get anywhere. There's the Ravage from Husky. Maybe they can. They got to lay into this. Saberlight Gunnar, will he have the damage? He does, but he popped the BKB, and now he's loosed his Aegis. Husky trying to stick around, maybe offer some assistance. Envy with a buyback coming back into this fight. They need to get more here. Moon able to leap away. That's his last one. Sigil giving him the vision they need. They will finish him off.
But not enough HP on Brow for them to reinitiate. This is an absolutely crazy move. I'm not sure you can get away with this.
There's no way. He's just dead. Gunnar might die to Tomato, and he does. He gets bursted down, but Envy's going to find Dubu here. He does need to pop that blade. No, he's just going to shatter. He can't get rid of the Ice Blast. Oh my god, Tomato just doing so much work on this Faceless Void.
That looked like a very sketchy reinitiation there. You gave up the Beyond Godlike spray, but you managed to take Envy down with dieback. You caught out 3 heroes in exchange for that Storm Spear at the end. Maybe it was worth it. They get a lot for that kill onto the Storm. I mean, XP and gold after that team fight, if you take a look here, it's absolutely insane. 12,000 for the Zoomers and 17,000 here for Team Undying. About 1,500 overall gold swing going in the favor of Undying after that last team fight. If you get more out of this, it's all right, but did end up passing a lot of gold over to Eternal Envy, giving up Ryle there.
Tomato is suddenly level 26, picking up the Chronosphere AoE instead, actually at 25, which is a little bit surprising to me. I feel like I never see that ability. Most people opting for the backtrack, but I think he feels like he is tanky enough and doesn't really need the backtrack, so why not try and hit more enemy heroes in Chronosphere, I suppose.
The Black King bar, oh sorry, I was just looking, Black King bar on Face of Void is pretty important here because it'll get you out of that Viper passive. They did change around the Faceless Void 25. The 20% backtrack used to not be dispellable. Breakable. That's the word I'm looking for here.
Wait, you can break the backtrack now?
You can now, yeah. They added it in like one of the patches, so that's I think one of the reasons why he went for the 140 Chronosphere AoE.
That makes more sense. He also has Refresher now, so that Chrono is going to be even more effective in these team fights.
The prize is mine.
Tomato really putting the team on his back here in this game. And honestly, big shout out to Dubu hitting some huge Ice Blasts this game.
Yeah. I mean, that last one that he hit in the previous team fight, I think it was like game winning. One of the reasons why they took down the Lina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spectre. Envy's getting close to this Eye of Scotty, though, which is going to be a pretty big deal. It's going to be so much harder for you to get away on this Storm Spirit. And, you know, staying on top of this Ancient Apparition is going to be a lot easier as well, regardless of the fact that he's got this Aeon Disc. So they're going to have to watch out for that one here. Tier 4 neutral items finally drop, and they got Flicker on 4 Zoomers. That's a pretty big deal. I've passed that one on to Gunnar. So I've been able to get off of
It's
This
really
Faceless
good at dodging
Void.
Ice Blast too. If you can see it coming, you just pop Flicker in the direction out of the AoE, and might give Gunnar the little bit of mobility he needs to dodge out that ability.
It also dispels the Eye of Scotty and like blinks you forward, so you can outrun the Faceless Void. You're not slowed by 50% all of a sudden, and you got a little bit of distance off on him. So Tomato's gonna be forced to try to blow up this Lina with the BKB, but the Viper is a massive issue as well, and he's got an Aeon Disc. And he's not working on Nullifier now on the Faceless Void. Instead, he's going from Yelner.
I'm surprised that they do definitely need a Nullifier at some point here. Will it be Faceless Void or yeah, Storm Spirit's queuing up and a Sheep Stick here. He does have that level 25 talent, the Overload attacks and bounce.
I mean, sorry, it's not a Scotty. It's a Shiva's card.
Oh, it's Shiva's. Oops, yep. Sorry, I didn't see the. I wasn't looking at the plate now.
Yeah.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
He's pretty close to it. Just needs another 300 gold. They might look to take.
Taking a lot of damage there. Again, he does have the Aeon Disc, doesn't mind doing what we like to refer to as the dangle, but Bryle on the backside, he goes, he finds the Lina. He is by himself, though. Snowball coming through Gunnar. He gets a really nice Yules onto Tomato. There's going to be the Chronosphere, though, and Envy. Not much you can do. He's looking for the backside. You've already lost the Lina. A second Chrono is available here. He's just got to target correctly. Bryle stuck up on the high ground without a lot of mana. He can't get out, but a 3-man Vortex. LSA on the backside holding down 2, but Moo, there's the second Chrono. Faceless Void doing so much work here. Axe now might die to Gunnar. He pops the Flicker, but just gets bashed. Zfree coming back in. Walrus Punch throwing Tomato on the high ground. Now he's got to chase for more. LSA isn't going to, he can't get out. Tomato's bashes are too much. And now Moo, the next target here for the Faceless Void. The Nether Toxin was just not in time to save him, and that is going to be GG as Tomato single-handedly crushing the side of the Zoomers here.
I mean, just had faster gameplay this time around. Bryle, we talked about how good he is on these heroes that can carry from the mid lane. Amazing Storm Spirit performance, finding kill after kill. Dubu as well, a couple of times getting the saves off on Dubu. And Tomato, you know, he made the performance happen in the late game. That double Chronosphere, I guess it made sense why he went for that AoE talent there. It was super important being able to lock down like multiple heroes in the super big AoE. They were splitting up these fights pretty well on the Zoomers. And you know, they had moments where it looked like they might have been able to recover, but I think the lead that they got early on, a lot of this that they owed to Bryle was just too big.
Yeah, it really was. It's really strange. I feel like this off lane should have gone better for Moo here on the Viper. They just did not come out of that lane ahead. And it wasn't necessarily a direct result of Bryle's rotation up there. Like, he did rotate up to the top lane and get his team like kind of like a nice recovery, but the lane wasn't even off to a good start anyway. For the side of the Zoomers, like they struggled in a lane that I feel like they definitely needed to win, and as a result, I mean Bryle Storm Spirit 15-1 and 26, an absolute incredible performance from him here. Itemization absolutely on point, and it seems like someone has finally found an answer to this Zoomers, you know, Lina Tide opener. They give them their first loss in quite a while.
Yeah. Now, I did just message the manager of, well, rather, he messaged me, the managers of Undying. We might have ourselves a post-game interview with one of the players in Undying in a moment. We'll see, but I can give more praise to Zoomers and Undying while we wait. They did have an amazing game one. It looked like Zoomers was going to be invincible after the last couple of games, just win after win, managing to take a 2-0 over Beast Coast is no easy feat, but you know, even taking a game off of Undying, people thought this team was just leaps and bounds better than everybody else going into this tournament. And there was just no way anybody managed to lose. And yeah, they ended up giving up a game to team with, you know, position 1 PUD, which is a little bit silly. But last game, they weren't fooling around, and Zoomers managed to completely play them with like some amazing reaction, these team fights, good positioning. Dubu Chad is actually who we're going to have for the interview. Oh my, this is going to be good.
All right. I'm excited. That should be a fun one. See if we can set this up here. Hold on, everyone, while we try and get that interview. Is he ready to go? Do you know yet?
I got to send him a friend request.
Meanwhile, we'll be able to take a look at the brackets here while or the groups rather.
Yeah.
which I believe technically Zoomers are still in first because of the amount of points that they've earned this so far tournament. They have a just more games played than that of Undying.
Right.
But these are the current standings here. Zoomers, Undying, No Ping, Hokori. Overall, some of the teams that we expected to see at the top, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull Dubu in right now.
Let's do it.
He does not have a, fortunately.
That's all right.
Dubu, welcome and congratulations. Oh my god. I did not think that you'd lose a game to Zoomers today, but they popped off game one, man.
Yeah, they did.
How are you? All right, first question for I got here is the Pudge yesterday. I know it doesn't relate to the games today. Hitter Pudge, what was the logic behind that one? Was that your idea or what?
We just like, the Timaru had like 800 games on Pudge, and then we just wanted to bust out, and then we failed.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. My questions for today. Bryle ended up just like completely popping off in the Storm Spirit, regardless of the fact that Lena normally does pretty well in the mid lane against Storm Spirit for like the first couple levels. Is this like something that Bryle's practiced a lot, like the Lena versus Storm Spirit matchup? Because I feel like Bryle is not supposed to do as well as he did in that lane.
I think he didn't really do like specific practice, but he just good as a player.
Like, better than Gunner?
No comment.
I see.
Don't get baited by neph or Dubu.
I thought I was gonna get something spicy. You guys called 4 Zoomers the 4 Cheesers last time. I'll give Ricky a chance for a question though.
I mean, I just loved this game number 2. I think you guys pretty much hit everything you wanted. I mean, the draft, were you guys worried at all? Like looking at 4 Zoomers, this is, a lot of comfort picks for them, but your Ancient Apparition absolutely owned this game. Like you guys had a lot of different ways to set up. Did you guys feel confident coming out of the draft, or were you guys worried at all?
Personally, I didn't have single like worry at all. I just told my team that I can carry this game. Just play. Yeah.
It's true. We were talking on the cast there, that top lane Ice Blast where you clip Gunner, Envy, and Husky, and they die back. We're like, that's probably the game-winning Ice Blast. It just, there's nothing you can do about that. At that point, were you kind of just like, this game's in the bag, or did you guys feel like it was over long before then?
I'm pretty sure it was like over around like 23 to 4 minute mark. I don't really remember the exact one, but we started through from there. So I was gonna talk to them after the game. Yeah.
Guys, stop throwing.
Yeah.
It went all right. I think probably a little bit of nerves after game number 1. Looked like game number 1 was rough, man. Saberlight like had a super hard time getting anything off, and then a couple of times he ended up, I think, whiffing his black holes. But I blame Ping for that one, right? The man would never miss anything if he wasn't on Ping. Do you disagree?
Maybe. Yeah, no comment. No comment.
Okay.
No, I can't get him with anything incriminating here.
What'd you expect, Dubu? Thank you. Now, I know you guys have had a lot of new fans, obviously, since the DPC, and your guys' qualification at TI. Is there anything you want to say to your supporters or your teammates, fans, anything of the kind?
Always appreciate all of you guys support and interest towards our team. We are gonna do our best on the international, and we will try our best to give you guys entertainment. Yeah, that's the only thing that we can do for you guys. Yeah.
I think that's good enough for all of us, man. I think we're all just really excited to see you guys finally get a chance to compete, outside of the Americas. It's wild. We haven't seen you guys, at a major. But I'm super happy to see you guys qualify. Super happy to see you guys, succeeding here as a team in this tournament as well. Nev, anything else you want to say, or any other questions you may have?
want to know who made the call for that top lane play that ended up getting 3 kills with that ice blast. Because Brawl went into that one, I think, knowing that he would die. I looked at that and I thought there is no way that he can make this play happen. The 3-man ice blast ended up landing. You guys turned it around and got 3 kills. Whose decision was that? Because you were sacrificing like a beyond godlike spray, which is pretty dangerous. You gave that up to Envy, but it ended up being a really good play.
I think Moon bring the idea first of like top defend, and then everyone just coordinate really well.
I meant like the reinitiation after the fight kind of
Oh,
looked over.
that one,
Brawl going
that
in.
one, we just like we did it together. Yeah, like I think someone said like we can turn, and then I said I blast go,
Yeah,
and then he
perfect.
went. Yeah,
because that's really risky. Because you were certainly going to give up the beyond god like spree on Braille there, but you also managed to make the play happen. So it's like a really tough call to make. So I was a little bit curious of who made that one.
Yeah, it was sick. Really well done. But
But,
go ahead.
that's
Neff.
all I got. That's
Yeah.
all I got for Dubu.
That's all I got as well. Thank you so much, man, for joining us for a quick interview. And again, congratulations as you guys push further into the tournament. You guys have a couple more games still left, if I'm not mistaken. So best of luck in those. But again, congratulations to you and your team. And we'll be talking to you soon.
thank you guys.
All right.
you.
Take care,
Bye.
Dubu.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mr. Neff. We've got more games coming up. This was just our first series. Everyone who is just tuning in, so don't get too ahead of yourselves. We got a lot of Dota still to come here on the Loop at Pro Series 7. Our next series is going to be a South American showdown of Beast Coast versus Furia. Again, Beast Coast playing with those two stand-ins, so we'll see how they do here today. But we're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be right back, everyone. But before we do, I want to give a great shout-out to one of our sponsors, which, Neff, which one should we do? We got Mate Mate, and we've got Loopet. Which one should we talk about first?
Let's hit him with Mate Mate first.
Ooh, I love it. Mate Mate, for those of you who don't know, you can head on over to bts.gg/Mate Mate, enter code BTSDota, and it'll put you in for a raffle. There's a bunch of little goodies there, anything from gaming chairs to computers, mice, peripherals, keyboards, all that good stuff. The winners will be chosen on August 23rd. So again, head on over to bts.gg/Mate Mate. I believe there's a link below the stream in a banner, so you can check that out as well. But yeah, big shout out to them. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring the tournament, giving the America's Dota scene something here to look forward to. But we'll be back after just a short break, everyone. Stay tuned here on the Loopet Pro Series Season number 7.